Well, an unfortunate but all too frequent byproduct of the pandemic, it's an increasing number of Hoosiers feeling depressed, sad, or anxious. A wellness center in New Albany, Southeast Indiana, that focuses on self-care is seeing more demand, a lot more demand for its services during the pandemic, and is now expanding virtually to serve more Hoosiers. Business of Health reporter KYLIE VELETA has more. KYLIE, over to you.
Thank you very much, Gary. Heart to Heart Wellness Center is Glynita Bell's vision of how mental health therapy should be. A cognitive behavioral therapist and clinical social worker, she wanted to create a space where mental wellness is celebrated and normalized. She opened Heart to Heart in New Albany to help shake off the stigma of mental health therapy. While operations have changed at the center during the pandemic, Heart to Heart is now expanding its virtual footprint. Glynita Bell, who is the director and founder, joins me now to tell us more about Heart to Heart. Glynita, thanks for joining us on the show today.
Hi, Kylie. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. All the way from New Albany. All right. Well, you have been a cognitive behavioral therapist for more than a decade. Explain the stigma that sometimes comes with mental health therapy and how your center really works to reverse that.
Yes, it's really unfortunate that for some reason, people taking time to prioritize their mental health can become stigmatized that they are somehow unbalanced or defective in some way. And the reality is that is so far from the truth. Being preventative in your mental health is just as important as being preventative in your physical health. So I wanted to create a wellness center where we had layers of self-care services such as therapy, yoga, massage, our meditation, as well as our nurse practitioner services. So people could have an enjoyable wellness experience where they were able to prioritize their self-care.
Well, even we can see in the shot behind you, such a beautiful place you have there. Like you mentioned, yoga, massage. So your business model is really built on this like spa-like atmosphere. So then COVID hits and you have to shut down doing everything in person. But explain how that opened the virtual door for you.
Sure. With the pandemic hitting, we initially thought it was going to be a short period of time. And once we realized it wasn't, we had to make sure that we were able to provide services for our clients. And it was very important that we kept our standard of care as well as our holistic approach. So it took a bit of research of finding out which platforms were going to allow us to structure and shape things the best way that we could to provide a good service for our clientele. And we were able to get all of our services offered virtually, which we're really excited about.
So you have therapy online, and the big news now is you're adding yoga back online as well, so people can do their yoga virtually too. So explain this new virtual platform. Also has a special focus on Indianapolis and Louisville. Explain that.
Absolutely. So we're doing our yoga, our nurse practitioner services, as well as meditation classes online. So our whole gamut of services are on our virtual footprint now. And I wanted to start close to home. Being in Southern Indiana, we're close to Indianapolis and have connection there. But we're also close to Kentucky. So the goal is for our company to be able to have a reach that is regional eventually. And I'm really shooting for the stars, and I'd love to see mental wellness be so accessible the way that we're doing it across the nation one day.
And it's a beautiful center you have there. I know massage therapy is still happening there since that's one-on-one. You have seen higher demand during the pandemic, and I think such an important part of that you mentioned to me off camera is that's for all ages. You've seen the need grow. Explain that.
Sure. You are seeing small children, because of the schedule shifts and changes, and they're able to go to school and then school's closing, and that increases anxiety in little bodies. We're seeing it with teenagers, although they're able to understand what's happening around them. It is still very scary. So you're seeing an increase in depression and anxiety with them. And of course, with adults that are now managing not only their full-time jobs, but teaching children from home, as well as whatever financial fallouts, as well as emotional fallouts that are coming from this pandemic. And we're also seeing people that haven't directly had any spikes in something diagnosable. I think people often feel like it has to be some severe issue, but we're seeing people that are realizing through this pandemic that your mental health can be quite fragile, and people wanting to learn preventative self-care skills to prevent that in the future.
All right. Well, Glynita, congratulations on the expansion and good luck. And we'll check back in with you maybe when you're able to open your doors again.
Thank you so much, Kylie.
All right. Gary, back to you.